All right, welcome back. It's time for us to get into some conversations, some post-Mother's Day conversations. Yes, in nutrition. And of course, Akosia Kunedu Adam, who is a state-registered nutritionist, has joined us on the show this morning. And we're talking replenishing your body after childbirth. Akosia,
Hi.
good morning.
Good morning.
How are you?
I'm fine. Yourself?
I'm really good, thank you.
Great.
Thanks for joining us.
Always a pleasure.
All right, so let's get into it right away. Of course, I mean, once you're carrying a baby, you know, baby is eating as much, you know, as possible to develop and to grow and all of that. What do we need to know?
Okay, so I will start off by saying that there is a conscious need for us to prep ourselves. Just as if Kukui has a show in South Africa, whatever, she will need to prepare with her team before she goes to sing. That's how we have to attack everything about us. You are bringing another human being into the world. Yes. And whenever I am on ward rounds, I tell the new moms, sometimes you meet mothers with their babies lying down and then they are back just facing the baby because after delivery they are tired. And I always need them to make sure they are breastfeeding right after delivery. So I tell them, if Mary was told that Jesus was going to save the whole world, if Muhammad's mom was told who Muhammad was, I'm sure there was no way the mom of Muhammad was going to joke with Muhammad. Same way with Christ. And so whatever you want your child to become, if you want your child to be wearing the white coat like I'm wearing, just see that child as somebody who is coming to wear that coat. And you find mothers picking their babies, trying to breastfeed, because then I'm like, I'm not a prophet, but if I told you your child was the next president of Ghana, I'm sure
your attitude would be different.
Yes, you would do everything to make sure you are doing the right thing. So see your child as the next president of Ghana, and they smile but pick their babies and breastfeed. It's the same approach you need to go into pregnancy with. I want to have a child. It's not just about the child. What kind of child do you want? There are babies who come. I see a lot of babies every day, but there are some of them you see them and you feel like taking them home. Because everything about this baby is just on point. You do the MWAC check, you do the length check, you check everything, and there is nothing wrong with this child. And it starts from the womb. Now, before you think of even getting pregnant, there are some nutrients you need to be deliberate about. Iron is one. You can get pregnant with low hemoglobin levels. And so for every woman, it's been said countless times, I will say it because blood is life. If you are a woman, your HB shouldn't be below 12 grams per deciliter. Because the normal range as specified by the World Health Organization is that every woman, from the girl to my grandmother, who is almost hitting 90, should have 12 grams per deciliter to 16 grams per deciliter. That is healthy. And then for a man, because you also make pregnancy happen, it takes two. You need to be deliberate about your zinc. It's about mamas, but let's do a bit of it for the fathers. And then so for a man, 14 to 18 grams per deciliter. Now you have to be conscious about folate.
Yes.
That's the natural form. We are giving you folic acid because most of our people here don't plan pregnancies. It happens, they come to the hospital some 5 months into the pregnancy. And at that stage, vital organs like the brain of this child has developed. So if you were doing all the wrong things, you can imagine the brain of that child. So you need to make sure that folic acid, or the folate, that's the natural version, every leafy green vegetable, every protein, being plant protein, animal protein, will supply you with these nutrients, the iron and the folate. Beetroot, a classical example. So every leafy green peculiar to you. I won't sit here and say spinach or broccoli because you find messages in my DM. What is spinach? So if you find yourself in the north, the leafy greens available to you. So for the north, I know they have ayoyo, they have a leafy, they have a deme, they have a lot of leafy greens, even cassava leaves. People make healthier recipes out of it. If you can't find contemporary at where you find yourself, people do wonderful meals like with cassava leaves, and it come out like the way contemporary will come out. If you are in the Volta region, wherever you find yourself, the leafy green peculiar to you can help you. So you need to be conscious about these nutrients. Prep yourself. Be sure to see a nutritionist. Now, It's the World Health Organization directive. If you lift the maternal and health child record book, maternal and child health record book, there are 3 sections. So for the first trimester, it is because we want to prevent some of these things happening. They hit the labor room and you realize that they have HB lower than sometimes even 8. And if your HB is at 7, if I am your doctor, I wouldn't want to touch you, because if something should happen, I don't want your family to come and hold me responsible for it. But it could be as a result of bleeding. Most of these women with low HB, they bleed. And that's what leads to, she bled to death. We couldn't have mother, we couldn't have baby. So that's the folate. And then after pregnancy has happened, like I said, you still make your appointments 3 times at least with a nutritionist. So for trimester 1, you will be guided on the nutrients to be deliberate about. Mind you, that's the period a lot of women are unable to eat.
Right.
They feel nauseous, they are throwing up, they are growing lean, let me put it that way. So everything about their nutritional well-being is compromised on normally at the first trimester. So if you don't get closer to a nutritionist, if you are in a government facility, it's free. If you're in a private facility, you need to pay for it. If I will show you where I am. If it's a government facility, then you need to make sure that once the appointment is made, your HB is low, 2 weeks appointment will be made with the nutritionist. So every 2 weeks you'll be told what to eat. I'll give them to you. The folate and the iron foods constant. So every meat, every plant, protein, beans, all the types of beans, all the types of pulses, nuts and seeds, and then the leafy greens will give you your iron folate combination. And then you need to be deliberate about the enhancers and inhibitors. There are women who love to drink coffee a lot, alcohol a lot. It is something that we will also talk about when we get to the part where you need to replenish after baby is out. You need to be conscious of eliminating some of these things because they are inhibitors. So you meet people who come to you, they tell you we are doing everything we have to do, but our HB is too low. It could be you taking simple ayolo, or what we call shile,
which a lot of pregnant women crave.
Yes.
But it's actually working against.
My friend is a doctor, she was taking ayolo. So they crave for it. So it's that simple ayolo can be the one doing all the bad thing to your blood, the inhibition. And then sometimes the medications you are on, calcium is very critical for pregnant women, especially from trimester 2, that's from your 4 months up to delivery. But if you don't take it well and you are combining it with your folic acid, it can be an inhibitor.
Look at that.
So there is drug interaction. So that's why it's not like now, hey, a nutritionist, you tell me what to eat. What you are eating can be what is causing the problem. So now when you come to me and you're on calcium supplements, because I want to improve on your blood levels, I tell you, let the calcium supplement be the last thing you take before bed. So that if you ate your supper at, let's say, 6 p.m., and you are retiring at 10 p.m., 4 hours, digestion, whatever needs to be lifted has already been done, and so there wouldn't be any interaction. So now take the calcium, retire with it, and make your body be able to absorb everything without doing any harm to other nutrients because you need it.
You know, you don't always get this breakdown. You're told, you know, take your prenatal vitamin, take your folic acid, take your calcium, but this breakdown, which is why I suppose nutritionists, state registered nutritionists are important to really break down not just what to take, but how to take it to get the maximum effect.
I always say that we all train same, but how I practice is different. It's about you getting to know your patient. People spend, okay, I clocked 100 patients a day. If I clock 10 and I know I've done well with the 10, I'm satisfied. Because you need to give the person time. Sometimes you are in your consultation, you are asking everything. This mother is doing everything right. It could be simple, as simple as carbonated drink. A lot of them love to take it because of the fact that they throw up a lot, they feel nauseous, and so when they take the once, it kind of settles things down for them, and so they want to do it, but that is an inhibitor.
Look at that. Wow.
So we find healthy alternatives. If you crave a lot, I can tell you, just keep cubes. It works, You can just squeeze a bit of lemon into water and just a pinch of ginger, because it helps, and then make ice cubes. with it, and just be keeping that. You lose nothing. The ginger probably might help you as far as certain benefits are concerned. So you need to make sure you see, especially if you don't pay for it like my facility, you need to make sure you show up and see the nutritionist so that you'll be guided on how to eat what. A lot of them enjoy this milk brand out there. A lot of them, babies like it, but pregnant women like it a lot. It's a milk-based product. And sometimes when we come for A&C antenatal classes, Coco is pregnant, I'm pregnant. Oh, you are feeling nauseous. I drank this and it worked. And so whenever they come for the next session, it's like they gave that thing to everybody. Everybody is doing it. So you need to really probe, because I wouldn't be able to help you. What's the point in coming to see me if I am not improving your blood levels, if you are doing something wrong and I'm not helping you to find a healthy alternative to it? So that is what you need to do for the before baby comes out. Now, when baby is out, you need to continue. I know that a lot of mothers, I had a woman sending me a text message, I just delivered, I quickly want my body back. Mama, you can't.
It took 9 months.
9 months. So please take it easy. Take it easy. It is very important.
Don't go for it at all.
You should take it easy. Don't desire to be like me, because I may be eyeing Kokui's body. So don't, appreciate what you have and do whatever we are coming to talk about, and you will get that results. For pregnancy, if you are a teenager and you are pregnant, don't forget to go hard. Not hard in a sense that you need to abuse it, but make sure your meals are enriched with protein. Because already you are kind of, I wouldn't say you are at a disadvantaged position, but you need to make sure you are helping yourself. So you have to be deliberate about your your protein, because that's what will help build you up. Sometimes your stores are not even prepped properly. Even the adults, some of them are unable to prep themselves properly. So you need to be deliberate about that, because that will also serve with your iron and then the folate needs, and also help you as far as your body is also concerned. Now, for women, 20s, that's the best time to have a child. But if you didn't have it, don't worry. That's the best point to in every woman's life, to have your children
in your 20s.
In your 20s.
Okay.
So you need to make sure your folate iron is also on check. And then when you're pregnant, you do an extra meal. That doesn't mean that, okay, then I'll eat 2 fufu in a day. An extra meal can just be boiled corn and even an egg. It will give you what you need for the day. Okay. For the extra.
The advice sounds fantastic in theory, but in reality, pregnant women crave all kinds of things all day long, at funny times of the night, combinations that as a nutritionist probably make you scared, you know. So how do you strike that fine balance between what the pregnant woman actually craves and what's actually good for her and the baby? Because it's always a juggling act.
So I will say that I know how it feels. I deal with them. They come in and you just want her to eat, but it's like it can't stay. There is something I did for someone, it worked. You can also try it. I can come and do it for you. If it's water, sometimes some of them can't even take water. So I tell them to kind of twist their water a bit, just squeeze in cucumber juice into your water, or sometimes it could be just you putting some mint. It's like they are attracted to anything with this good smell or aroma. They are attracted to scents. So you need to make sure that you are just enhancing on whatever you are taking. And then I know it's difficult, but ask yourself, it is not just about you. It's about the other human being growing up in you. You don't want any birth defects. A beautiful woman, you deliver, and sometimes you can't even look at your child because you deliver something. Wow. Spinal bifida linked to some of the things ILO can do a lot of messy things to you. Honestly speaking, it can do a lot of harm to you. So I tell them that in as much as it is very difficult, always ask yourself, what good will it do for me? You are here. It might be easier correcting certain things, but Kukuyi, how would you feel if you delivered and one limb is not there? How would you feel if you delivered and the child's head is looking something else you wouldn't even want anybody to see? I believe that that is what we need to be looking into. And then twist our meals in what sense? Okay, you want it twisted. Okay, I will just spread a bit of cheddar cheese on your corn for you. What about that? I use cheddar cheese because now I'm also preaching healthier alternatives. And when you classify cheese in general, cheddar is one of the most healthiest when it comes to cheese. So even with the margarine, if you want to apply something like that on your corn to just give it that difference, let me put it that way, you can just apply any margarine with 0 cholesterol or some. I'm tempted, one is just looking at me, but I won't give anybody credit here. But you just pick healthier alternatives, and like I said, ask yourself, is it healthy? I've given you ice cubes. You can do plain crackers. They are very good, and you can have it with coconut juice. It tastes very, 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 very good. So you can just, there are healthier things around. There are people who take alasan, this African star fruit. It's also good if you are somebody who has pressure issues in pregnancy, if you have diabetes, gestational diabetes. Eat in a way that you are serving your body some goodness. So that simple alasa 1 CD can help you with your blood pressure if you're pregnant, can help you with your blood sugar levels if you're pregnant. So that is it. I want us to talk more about the replenishing.
Okay. Yes,
like, don't be too quick, like I started with. After 6 weeks, some women bounce back. After 6 weeks, but we are different. It may take months in some other women, but there are some quick ways to make sure you replenish or you bounce back. Breastfeed. The WHO will say 12 times a day at least. So I tell them, even if you are the most laziest woman in the world, do 12 times a day.
It is a whole job.
That means that every 2 hours you should be breastfeeding. It's one excellent way of making sure you lose baby fat. Because when you are breastfeeding now, you add an extra meal. So when you're pregnant, you added an extra meal. Breastfeeding, don't worry, you lose it. If your child is breastfeeding 12 times, you meet mothers who are breastfeeding every 1 hour. When they show up at weighing, this woman doesn't look like a mother. Baby is thriving perfectly. Everything is on point. When you check the plottings in the weighing book, everything works perfectly. So breastfeed well, it helps you lose weight. And then post pregnancy workout plans. Now I will encourage you to just stick to a proper or professional fitness coach, so that you don't do more than you have to do. You had a cesarean session. Some people do CS and the following morning they are up walking. Others, you can meet mothers in bed after 3 days. It's not because they are lazy, they are in pain. So you need to know your body and know what to do. Don't be too desperate to get the baby fat off, because like Oku said, it took you 9 months to make this happen. So you can't just walk through this 6 weeks and expect it to happen. It can happen for me 6 weeks because I'm probably feeding. There are some others doing 45 minutes, every 45 minutes, and then doing safer routines to make sure that they are helping their bodies. And then you take your supplements. So some of the pregnancy supplements, you can be taking them until your blood flow ceases. So for some women, they take it for 6 weeks. Others continue because they really want to make sure that they have really replenished more, especially with those who sometimes get pregnant before their child is 2. It is very important that you are paying attention to how you replenish, because like I said, we don't plan it, so it can happen before even your child turns 2. And then have reasonable expectations. Let me end with that. Don't say that I'm going to lose 5 kg by the time my child is 1 month. Don't do that to yourself. Make sure you are eating well. I've given you the total number of meals to have in a day. Make sure you stay hydrated, and then engage in safer routines. There are a lot of fitness experts around. You can get in touch with them, and then you will be sorted out.
All right. Fantastic.
Thank you.
I mean, it's pretty comprehensive.
It is.
Yeah.
It is.
Thank you very much, Kosia. How do people get in touch with you?
Okay, so you can get in touch with me or follow me on Instagram at The Nutritionist Akosia, Facebook, LinkedIn, Twitter, Nutritionist Akosia. You can WhatsApp me 0243 350206.
All right. So we've been speaking with Akosia Kunedu Yadom, who is a state-registered nutritionist.